Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Now no, I'm not as much of a greaseball as you all think I am. I just took a shower. I'm not that greasy of a greasy boy, alright? Everyone seems to think that I'm just greasy all the time, but I do take showers, and sometimes I take a shower right before recording the video. But anyway, now that that's through, today I'm going over something that I see a lot in my comments, and this is, by a lot, I mean a lot. And that is when to use a spell, what spell to use when, right? Because what I mean by that is that, for example, on my Ship of Fools video, I saw a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, say, why would I use Ship of Fools? Scarecrow does more damage. Like, yes, it's 7 pips, but it does more damage. And I don't think a lot of people realize that certain spells are better at different times. What I mean by this is, for example, Ship of Fools serves the same purpose as Meteor Strike does. And what that is a 4-pip hit-all spell that's lower pip than, say, if I go over here, than Fire Dragon, which you can see Fire Dragon does quite a bit more base damage. It does 200 more base damage, plus an overtime for 3 more pips. Now, a lot of people are like, why would I use the lower pip spell when I could use Fire Dragon? And it's all a matter of whether it's the right time. When is the right time, you may be asking, as I've so mystically said the right time a few times now. The right time is when you know that you can kill. And what I mean by this is when you're fighting street enemies. For example, if I come over here, oh, the silent market's not where I wanted to go. Oh, this is gonna, I'm gonna have to walk a little bit more. Sorry, had a stroke. Street enemies, for example, enemies that have lower health than bosses, it is a lot better to use, say, Meteor Strike, because you can use it first round, and more than likely, end the battle first round. So, as you can see here, I went to the wrong... this thing's right here anyway. I wanted to go to the last wood. I went to the Sardonyx. Oh, I didn't mean to go to the last wood. I meant to go to Mooncliffs. Alright, so as you can see here, right, these have 3,900 health. Now, this is going to be a matter where you potentially would want Fire Dragon, which is why I would recommend maybe putting 2 Meteor Strikes, 1 Fire Dragon in your deck for later worlds. But for earlier worlds, where this won't matter as much... And even for Arc 3 worlds, because Arc 3 the health goes down, that could, you see, would have killed most things first round. And a lot of people, I think, underestimate themselves. They think, oh, I need to overkill everything by 5,000 damage. You don't need to do that, right? And this battle is a prime example of why you would want a Meteor Strike rather than potentially a Fire Dragon, because, right, I use that quick Meteor Strike, I pass around, and then I use Meteor Strike again next round, finishes it in 2 moves, right, rather than, say, blading 3 times and then Fire Dragoning. This fight, where they have 3,900 health, potentially, I probably should have used Fire Dragon, right? But it's all about knowing your limits and knowing what to use. So what I mean by this is in, once you get enchants, right? Once you get up to Colossal, and even past that Gargantuan, you're gonna one-shot almost every street enemy with these 4-pip spells, right? Especially if you're questing in a group, it would be actually stupid not to have these 4-pip spells in an attack deck. Now, for bosses and things that have more health, you can see I have Fire Dragon in my deck. I mean, I still have a Meteor Strike just in case I don't kill with that Fire Dragon. But you can see I have Fire Dragon, and because that is the proper place to use it. And that's what I see a lot, right? I saw it so many times. They're like, why do you like Ship of Fools so much? It's not as good as Scarecrow. But the thing is that it's actually, in my opinion, okay, maybe not better than Scarecrow, but you're going to use it more than Scarecrow. Because I can't necessarily show this on this death because I don't have Ship of Fools on this death, but you can see here I have Deer Knight in my attack deck and not Scarecrow, and the reason for that is that it takes more rounds if I have Scarecrow in my deck. And this game, in my opinion, especially these mob fights, is about speed. You're not trying to, you know, blade up, pass a few rounds, and then do 10,000 damage to these Royal Guards. Okay, maybe you are trying to do 10,000 damage because they have 4,600 health. I didn't realize they had 4,600 health. But it's a matter of what you think is right. And the reason why I don't use those spells is because it takes too much time. Now, what spells should you use in boss fights is a matter of debate. For me, as I've said, everything is about speed. So I do not, I don't pack things like 10 pip spells. Sun Serpent, never have used it on my... Okay, I have used it on my fire, but I never used it frequently. And the reason for that is that Sun Serpent is largely ineffective because on my fire, I killed everything by the time I had enough damage by the time I got to 8 pips that I didn't need to use it, right? So, my fire, I would always use Fire Dragon. I would double blade while someone else faints for me. And by that point, I'd have enough to use Fire Dragon. I hit with Fire Dragon. The only time I would... I don't even pack a larger pip spell in my deck because I don't need to, is the point. And God, that did very low damage. I forgot how gross not only Deer Knight is, but that minus 40 is. And I pip failed. Oh, this fight's just going so wrong. Now, one thing I would like to amend here, and this is specifically for life and death, is do you want to use those 7 pip spells in mob fights? Yes, and the reason is that you don't have a good 4 pip spell to use. Unless you can get Ship of Fools or Rat Spin, until you get Ship of Fools or Rat Spin, yes, use those 7 pip spells. But specifically, the reason why I pointed this out is because a lot of people in that video were saying, why use Ship of Fools rather than Scarecrow? And that is why. Now, on death, I would even honestly recommend you use Scarecrow over Deer Knight. And the reason for that is, and as you can see here, it splits the enchant. And what I mean by that is that half of the enchant, half of the 275 goes to the first hit, and then half the 275 goes to the overtime. And why that's bad is that you want to kill with the first hit usually, and you don't want the battle to be drawn out for these long overtimes, right? Which is why it's much better to use Scarecrow, have 900 base damage rather than 400 base damage. Now, Ship of Fools in of itself is even better than Deer Knight because it does about 550. I think it's exactly 550. 550 base damage, which is much better than that 413 or whatever it was, or 430. I don't know. But that's really all I wanted to go over this video, is what to use when, because I know that I feel like a lot of people struggle with that kind of thing. They struggle with, like, what do I do? Do I do this? Do I do this? Whatever. And I'm here to tell you what to do. So, hopefully you found this to be useful. If you did, please drop a like, hit the sub button. I appreciate all the support I've been getting recently. And I will see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.